Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. I'm so happy to see you again. Today we're gonna teach you a highly requested topic. How do I actually hold the racket correctly? At the end of the video, I will tell you which grip I personally use. Yes boy, let's grind. In my opinion, there are three main types of shakehand racket grip. Make sure to watch the video until the end so you can choose your personal grip, which one suits you the best. Number one, the old school grip. The old school grip is definitely the most simple racket grip. It's the racket grip that comes from the Jan-Ove Waldner, Persson, Schlager era. Come closer, I show you how it looks like. The main components of the racket grip are the thumb and the index finger. Try to do a type of pistol. Now, I want you to place your racket just like that. Your thumb is around here. And when you turn your racket, you can slightly adjust your index finger to see what feels comfortable for your hand, for your finger length. It's always a little individual. Let me show you the same thing from a POV perspective so you can implement it much easier. Once the racket lies in a good way in your hand, it's time for a little adjustment. I want you to grab your racket surface and slightly turn it to have a forehand dominant grip. Now your grip is very forehand dominant. With this grip, your face of the racket really faces the ball. And when you play backhand, you turn with the same grip, just like that. The racket surface is always open. Before you decide if this is the suiting racket grip for you, let me explain the pros and the cons of this type. The pros are, with this grip, you have a really easy transition between backhand and forehand. The better you will get, the more you will improve in table tennis, the faster the game will be. So if you have a pretty fast and uncomplicated, simple switch between backhand and forehand, you will feel really comfortable in rallies. Also a very good overall safety because your whole racket surface faces the ball. Another pro, it's very fast and easy to learn. Cons. You can generate less spin because of a quite limited grip. It's stable, but it lacks details and fine micro adjustments. Also, it's possible that in the future you can face difficulties for backhand banana or some other modern table tennis shots that need finger adjustments or high sensitivity work, if you understand what I mean. If not, let's get to the second grip where I explain these things to you. Number two, the modern switch grip. This grip isn't the newest invention, but it's a modern type of racket grip. I remember back then when I was young, I think Dmitry Ovcharov was somebody who used this grip a lot and all coaches said, whoa, this is the worst grip ever. No, it will never work out. It takes too much time. These were the coaches that learned the first grip, the old school type of grip. And I remember they said, no chance, not possible. And now it's the standard. So guys, you know, there is no right or wrong in table tennis. If your coach says this what you do will never work out just because it's something if it works for you, it's gonna work, okay? So let's get to the grip. Hold your hand straight and focus on your thumb and index finger. You see, they're not too tight, they're actually quite relaxed. Then you take your racket, maybe you can even let your racket fly in your hand and you slightly catch it with a relaxed grip like this and see what feels comfortable for you. The importance here is that you don't hold it tight like the first grip, but rather give it an opportunity that you are able to switch it like this. Too stiff? No chance. But play a bit around with your racket like this and make these little switches. Maybe you can see when I push my index finger, I'm in this position, right? I try to switch it back in a relaxed manner, like this. The racket is almost in the air. This is a very cool transition that you can also practice at home to switch between backhand, forehand, backhand, forehand. At the first grip, we just switch between forehand and backhand like this. Watch slowly. Nothing changes here. In this grip, however, our index finger and our thumb are more relaxed and we switch between backhand and forehand like this. Can you spot the difference? Because the thumb and the index finger are way more relaxed, we let the racket kind of fall naturally in the preferred grip. We give it freedom. We are not limited here. And what happens is that we have much more possibility for micro adjustments. In the forehand, for example, at the first grip, it was a kind of tight, not so flexible grip that doesn't allow us the micro adjustments that we are able to do with the modern type of grip. The ball comes in our backhand and we are here. Our grip is not limited. We can add our wrist. We can add a little bit banana. We can even chop block. We can add wrist here. We can last moment feint. We can play banana, we can play more spin. You see, this is the micro adjustment thing that this grip allows us to do. You might ask, why should I learn this grip? It seems much more complicated. And yes, that's true, especially when you're improving and getting to a higher level, this grip will give you a lot of benefits. Let me show you the pros and the cons. You can use the power of wrist and fingers much more. You can always create more detailed micro adjustments. You know, these Formula 1 drivers, the best ones, their sensitivity in the car is so high that every millimeter does something big, you know? That's the same with this grip. It's really the master of the ball. It's like a very fine-tuning type of grip. Cons. Yes, it's more difficult to learn, but this type of grip will reward you in the longer run, I would say. Another con, obviously it might be a little bit confusing at the start. Don't get me wrong, it's not necessarily the grip that will cause you difficulties, but it's more applying the shots with the coordination of the new grip. It takes a little bit more time to burn it into your muscle memory, so your transitions and your game become automatically smooth with this kind of grip. And now let's get to the third type of grip, the most modern invention. Let me show you. I would call it the new age backhand peanut grip. Joking. Why should there be a peanut in the name? Just new age backhand grip. Sorry guys, there's just so much strawberry and banana, I thought why not peanut, but okay, it's a joke. I would say this grip is the most modern type of grip. Maybe you've noticed that the pro meta game is very backhand dominant, very backhand focused. Backhand, poof, long service, backhand, poof, backhand banana, poof. Players nowadays tend to play backhand from 2/3 of the table, which was unthinkable back then. If you would have done this again, the coach would go mad and get red in the face and explode probably. And you see, now it's the standard, kind of. As the game evolves, so does the grip ideas. Let me show you what's the difference in this type of racket grip. Relax your hand, relax your thumb and your index finger. Place your hand like this. A very dominant backhand grip, okay? Let your racket fall into place. And now, kind of feel this lightness. What feels good for you? You can even close your eyes here and really feel what feels nice for your backhand. You know, maybe your index finger is longer than mine and then it will go like this, so you need to adjust a little bit. Let the top of the racket a little bit drop, find the position, and now, what's different here is that you have a very backhand dominant grip. Your thumb goes upwards. This is the big difference, okay? Really, you can even place your thumb here. Find your personal sweet spot. The main strength and power goes from the thumb. The index finger, however, here is just to stabilize. With this grip, you have unlocked so much possibilities and micro adjustments for the backhand. You can spin easily. You can go fast, frontal easily, change the direction very aggressively with a high safety. Perfect grip for backhand banana, a really like attacking kind of backhand banana. And now you might ask, what about my forehand? Well, the modern game goes a lot over the backhand, as I mentioned before. So we are in a good advantage with this grip. But of course, our forehand needs to be powerful too. So if we want to play forehand with this grip, we need to do a little jump switch similar to the previous grip. It's the same principle. You switch from this to this. I would say if you want to do this grip, you need to be able to also do the modern grip, because this one is kind of built on the modern grip, especially for the transitional switch. As I told you before, you can easily practice this transition at home. Just grab your racket and just practice the smooth transition between backhand and forehand. You can imagine the balls going forehand, backhand, and you smoothly switch here. You will learn it faster than expected. The pros: a very modern and effective grip that will help you dominate in a modern game. Especially if you're already backhand talented or backhand dominant, you can add this grip to increase your weapon even more. You unlock greater backhand power. As Zhang Jike also said, once you have a weapon, you can easily build your game around it. Every pro has a con too. It can disturb your forehand power, that's for sure, because it's backhand dominant. At the beginning of learning, it will instantly improve your backhand and your backhand power, but make your forehand maybe a little uncomfortable. It's based on the modern grip. You kind of need to master this jump transition. Another important rule for all grips: never hold it like this, okay? And never hold it too loose, because if you hold it too loose, it's not controllable. So just in the middle is right, you know, not too hard, not too relaxed, just, you know, I would say we can call it flexible. What racket grip sounds the coolest to you? How would you like your future self to play? Try all grips out and choose which one suits you or your future self the best. I use a slightly adjusted modern grip, not the new age type of backhand peanut grip. No, I'm joking, but everyone is individual. Choose yours. Thank you so much and see you soon.